The team have established that Gerald was one of 3 brothers. Throughout their childhood, they would have had to keep a close eye out for Gerald, as he contracted meningitis aged just 4. And it was a disease that would affect him for the rest of his life. At the turn of the century, meningitis was a highly infectious disease. It affected between 10 to 15,000 people every year throughout England and Wales.
In the 1930s, the risk or chance of Gerald having after effects would have been much greater than it is now.
Unfortunately, Gerald was left severely disabled. He struggled to speak and use his legs and would have required 24-hour care. For Gerald's parents, they would have had limited options available to treat their son.
Gerald would have probably been admitted to an infectious disease ward or an infectious disease hospital. Quite often children that were ill at that time weren't allowed to see their families for prolonged periods of time as well. So it would have been very distressing really for a young child to be in a strange environment and not having their family around them. The parents at the time, you just can't imagine what they must have felt really, because it was nothing like it is now, where parents are kept fully informed.
Although there were treatments available, after penicillin was first discovered in 1928, it wasn't made readily available to the public until the 1940s, just a matter of years after Gerald contracted the disease. It was only then that the rate of meningitis infection dropped dramatically.
I think for Gerald to have survived meningitis as a 4-year-old back in the 1930s shows a strength of character, and it shows he was a survivor.